The Ungrateful Tortoise, an African folktale. Long ago, beside the shores of a great lake, there lived a tortoise. Although he could not fly, he had many friends among the birds. Every morning, they gathered at the water's edge to drink, laugh, and share stories. The tortoise would tell them about the wonders beneath the water. "My friends," he would say, "if only you could swim, I would show you forests of reeds, schools of colourful fish, and the hidden beauty that lies beneath the lake." The birds smiled and listened with great admiration. Then one day, one of the birds replied, "My dear friend, if only you had wings, we would take you into the sky. You would see mountains touching the clouds, rivers winding through valleys, and forests stretching beyond the horizon." The tortoise looked down sadly. "I wish I had wings," he whispered. The birds loved their friend. They gathered together, and each bird plucked one feather from its own wing. They carefully fastened the feathers together until they formed a magnificent pair of wings for the tortoise. "Now," they said with joy, "you can fly with us." The tortoise spread his borrowed wings and lifted into the sky for the very first time. He looked down at the rivers, forests, hills, and villages below. It was more beautiful than he had ever imagined. But instead of thanking the birds, his heart filled with pride. He turned to them and shouted, "You call yourselves my friends? Why did you keep these wings from me for so many years? You knew how beautiful the sky was, yet you never gave me the chance to see it. You are selfish friends." The birds were hurt. They had expected gratitude. Instead, they received accusations. Still, they remained silent and continued flying until they reached a magnificent celebration high among the clouds. At the entrance stood a guard. He stopped the tortoise. "This is a feast for birds," he said. "Who is this?" The birds answered, "He is our friend. Today, he flies with us." The guard nodded and welcomed him inside. The tables overflowed with delicious food, sweet fruits, roasted grains, honey, and gifts prepared for every guest. The tortoise's eyes grew wide. Quietly he asked, "Who is all this food prepared for?" The host smiled. "It is for everyone." Immediately, a clever but dishonest idea entered the tortoise's mind. He gathered the birds and said, "In my family, everyone chooses a special name whenever they attend a feast. Today I choose the name Everyone." The birds laughed. "We keep our own names," they replied. "There is no need to change them." The tortoise smiled to himself. When the feast began, the host announced, "The food is ready. It is for everyone." Without hesitation, the tortoise jumped forward. "I am everyone," he shouted. He began eating everything in sight. The birds watched in disbelief as he consumed food meant for all of them. When the meal ended, servants carried out beautiful gifts. Again, the tortoise asked, "Who are these gifts for?" The host answered, "They are for everyone." The tortoise quickly gathered every gift. "They are mine," he declared. "After all, I am everyone." The birds were no longer merely disappointed. They were deeply hurt. Their kindness had been rewarded with greed. They said nothing until the celebration was over. As they flew home, each bird quietly removed the feather it had given the tortoise. One feather, then another, then another. Suddenly, the tortoise realized he was no longer flying. His borrowed wings disappeared. He tumbled through the sky, down, 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 until he crashed upon the earth with a terrible sound. His shell shattered into many deep cracks. He cried in pain, unable to move. As he lay there, a slow-moving snail approached. "My friend," said the snail gently, "I can help repair your shell." The tortoise looked up with hope. "Oh, please help me." The snail nodded. "But there is one condition." "What is it?" "From this day forward, you shall move as slowly as I do. Your shell will never again be smooth. The cracks will remain forever as a reminder that pride, greed, and ingratitude always bring painful consequences. The tortoise had no choice. He accepted. The snail repaired his shell, but the scars remained. And from that day to this, the tortoise has walked slowly, carrying the marks of his mistakes wherever he goes. The moral of the story is this: a grateful heart receives more blessings. Never repay kindness with selfishness. Borrowed strength should never become a reason for pride. Greed destroys friendships that take years to build. Cleverness without honesty leads to ruin. Every action has consequences, and some scars remain for a lifetime. And that is the story of the ungrateful tortoise.